Sisters. I'm Umbrella.
And I'm CJ Peterson. Welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Wands to the ready because we solemnly swear we're up to no good. Well, speaking of lots of fun, we have Mr. Vic Mignogna today. But before we get there, Mombi, how was your weekend?
It was great. I actually got to go to Eastern Rim for the first time this year. And you went with me. We had an absolute blast. It was our first time there. And it was a great event. It was at a high school, so that was interesting. um, it's completely free, which is fun. You don't have to worry about parking or ticket prices. And even the food was like really affordable because you know how cons like Comicpalooza is really expensive food. There was like $3 slices of pizza and nachos, and it was just good. Yeah, we had a blast.
So it was actually real food versus the rough stuff. And that con's free to get in, wasn't it?
Yeah, free tickets and parking.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk more about that later. Our special guest, Mr. Vic Mignogna, has limited time today because he's in the car, as you could tell, and he's ready to catch a flight. So John Knight says hello.
Hello, John Knight, and hello to you guys. Good morning.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. I am inching along in traffic with Lorenzo, my driver, and heading to the airport. But it's a pleasure to join you guys.
Awesome. Well, we ran into Vic at Comic Conroe this year. Had so much fun. We're like, okay, we got to get him on the show and have some fun here too. You are a multi-talented individual. You do lots of things. Could you kind of just briefly go over, and then we'll dive into everything later?
Well, I guess the most predominant things are my voice acting career. I've been voice acting for, I don't know, wow. When did the dinosaurs go extinct? Trying to remember. But I've been voice acting for probably 25 years. I've done over 400 different animated series and video games.
Wow.
Also, long before voice acting, I was into music. I write and produce and sing professionally. I've produced dozens of records. I have 6 of my own original music CDs on iTunes and Amazon. Also, I do a lot of on-camera work. About 10 years ago, I decided I wanted to pay tribute to my favorite television show when I was a little boy. So I rented a warehouse in South Georgia and proceeded to rebuild the entire soundstage from the original series of Star Trek.
Wow.
And then I brought a bunch of friends together, and we made a web series called Star Trek Continues that I executive produced and also played my childhood hero, Captain Kirk. And to date, we have 11 full-length episodes with over 15 million viewers. And it's been very well received, and it's my big passion project, labor of love.
Awesome. Well, Vincent Discussion Anime Dub says love Vic. Works hard says like no one.
Number one.
Also said like number one. Here watching and listening.
It's totally different meaning to it.
You know, I was on vacation last week, so my brain is still not good today. It happens. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I'm sorry that I'm sorry. I'm just kind of getting going. I landed yesterday in Dallas, and then I had to make an unexpected trip to Houston, and now I'm headed back to Dallas, and tomorrow I'm headed to where am I going, Lorenzo? West Palm Beach for UltraCon this weekend.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, works hard says nothing wrong with vacation brain. The Roman said make him say Kakarot.
Kakarot. Who wants to hear that?
The patrolman.
Oh my goodness. Wow. It's early in the morning, but I'll give you one just for you. Kakarot. Kakarot.
Hardy Girl 66 says, good morning, ladies. Hi, Vic.
Hello, party girl.
And Hardy Girl. And
Oh, Carney girl.
Hardy with an H.
With an H.
Hardy girl.
There you go.
Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm on my phone, and it's just a tiny bit difficult to hear. And if my computer bag were not in the trunk of the car, I would pull out my earbuds so I could hear better. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We're just glad to have you.
Well, I'm happy to be
We're just
here.
glad to have you this morning. So I know that you're you're definitely busy right now. So we just appreciate you being here.
I'm very happy to join you guys. Very happy to join you. Now, where are you guys located?
Right now, I'm Lufkin. Going to be moving to OKC soon.
And we're just outside of Houston area. So.
Oh, okay, great. So you're not that far.
Nope.
We're kind of neighbors.
There you go. Kind of. It's all good.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of the internet. It brings everybody together.
Right.
Yes, for better or worse.
That's true. It just depends on the day.
I would say I have come to the conclusion that the internet is a mixed bag of really great things, connecting with old friends and meeting new friends, and then there are also those horrible people that just want to cause trouble for others. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
They're out there. So let's start with the Star Trek, one of my favorites. I'm a cosplayer for Star Trek Pathfinder, which is kind of
Oh, really?
Yeah. I want to see
your cosplay.
Actually, just go to Facebook under @ST Pathfinder, and you'll see me. And my husband is the doctor, so he's chief of medical officer, and I'm chief of security.
Must check it out. Check it out.
So Star Trek has a special
place. Yet?
No, I want to. Star Trek has a special place in our hearts. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, well, here it is.
I know. I love the shirt.
Thank you. My show. We built this beautiful studio that is the most accurate recreation of the original series sets in a beautiful little town called Kingsland, Georgia. It's in very South Georgia. It's very easy to get to. You fly into Jacksonville, Florida, and then 25 minutes up I-95 is Kingsland, Georgia. And the best part is that when we finished our series, another group took it over. Another group took it over called Neutral Zone Studios. And one weekend a month, they open it up for people to come and walk through it.
Oh, nice.
And take all the pictures and videos they want. I'm telling you, girl, you and your husband in uniform, walking through the original Enterprise, stepping up on the transporter platform, sitting in the captain's chair.
That would be cool.
Girl, nothing in your life will ever compare. It is amazing. It's all free of charge. Go to neutralzonestudios.com and you'll be able to see the dates starting next month. You'll be able to see the dates starting next month, one weekend a month. And I go down personally and give the tours myself.
Oh, wow.
That would be cool.
That's awesome.
You know, because it's my baby. You know, it's my passion project. And so we've got hundreds of people every month that come from all over the country, sometimes even outside the country, just to experience this amazing studio. So I hope you guys will make your plans to come down.
Oh, definitely.
Magic Making Mischief may have to make a trip out there sometime.
Definitely. So there's a couple comments through here, and then I have a quick question. So John says, "Who's your favorite character from Star Trek?" Which I think you mentioned was Captain Kirk.
Yes. The only character in Star Trek.
Well,
Captain James T. Kirk.
Yeah.
I'm a Next Generation kid, so that's kind of where I'm at.
That's all right. Live and let live. It's fine. I would just like to point out that if there were no Star Trek, the original series, there would be no Next Generation.
Wholeheartedly agree. And there's been a lot of inventions that come from Star Trek, if you've noticed. Vincent says, I don't know if y'all watch Escaflowne, but it's one of my favorites. I know Vic is in it, is in the redub, and I loved it.
Oh, Escaflowne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I loved being a part of that.
Works Hard says about the studio. She said that sounds amazing, and then she said it was cool. So what made you come up with this project, though, is my question.
Well, quite honestly, when I was a little boy, I discovered Star Trek when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and it became everything to me. It inspired me. It inspired me to try things for the first time that I had never tried. It inspired me to do creative things that I had never tried before. Like, suddenly I wanted to build prop replicas of communicators and phasers. And I wanted to make my own uniforms, and I wanted to build models of the Enterprise and hang them in front of a black poster board and run my home movie camera past it to make it look like the ship was flying by. And it really jump-started my creativity. I started getting involved in acting because I loved what Bill Shatner and Leonard Nimoy were all doing. And I wanted to move people in the same way they moved me. So I started auditioning for school plays and community theater and church productions. And so I credit Star Trek with inspiring me to try many things for the first time that I now do professionally. And fast forward 4 decades, and I thought, I would love to make a Star Trek episode the way I remember it, and say thank you and pay tribute to those people that made that show that meant so much, not just to me, but to millions of others. So I got a bunch of people together, and we shot an episode. We built the sets and shot an episode. Our first episode was called Pilgrim of Eternity. And then we released it, not knowing how it would be received, but it was received very well. And so then we started launching crowdfunding campaigns, and we proceeded to make 11 full-length, hour-long live-action episodes with full cast, full crew, original music, effects, sets, makeup, wardrobe, storytelling, exactly like the original series, as if it had never been canceled.
Okay, you made the Star Trek Geek a happy person. I'm super excited to find them. How can people find those episodes?
Yes.
StarTrekContinues.com.
Awesome.
Just go to StarTrekContinues.com, and it's all free to watch, because, like I said, it wasn't made for money. It wasn't created for profit. It was created for love. And in a world where people do very little unless they're paid to do it, it's a beautiful thing. And you can tell by watching it that the people that made it really, really loved it and knew they were making something very special.
Very cool. John says, have you watched the Star Trek movies? John Knight wants to know if you watched the Star Trek movies. I think any Star Trek geek has. But have you?
Yeah, I have. And you know what? Let me say something about that. I enjoyed the Star Trek movies. However, I am an old guy, and I am a fan of the classic. I am a fan of the original series, and in as much as they adhere to the formula and the values and the vision of the original series, I'm all for it. I feel like some of the more recent incarnations of Star Trek are targeting a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see
They're not the same. The values and the flavor is not the same as the original series.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem with it. I mean, like I said, live and let live. But for me, being an older fan, I have a very special place in my heart for the original.
Yeah, I mean, the original started it all. There's no going against that. That's how it goes. And then there's always that old joke of the red shirts. My husband and I literally went through and calculated the first few seasons. The colors were pretty diverse on who died in each episode. But
Yes.
the third season, it was almost strictly red.
You know what? You know what? It's funny you should say that, CJ, because somebody told me that they did a survey or a test or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that there were actually more gold shirts
Mm-hmm.
that were killed than red shirts
In the first few seasons. Yep.
That's
so
funny.
I'm not sure how the red shirts got such a bad rap.
I think it was
watch the second season.
I think it was that third season because most people probably hadn't really heard much about it the first few. So
It got out there more. Yeah.
Works Hard says my favorites: Spock, Picard, and Data.
So here's sorry.
And Vincent says, "Are you friends with some of the Canadian voice actors like Paul Dobson and Scott McNeil?"
I know the Dobson boys and Scotty McNeil very well. Really good people. Really good people.
Before we get off the Star Trek portion here, before we get away from Star Trek, so you play Captain Kirk. Do you do this William Shatner style? Because I haven't gotten to see this yet. Or how does it work? Do you do it William Shatner style? Is the question.
Why do you hurt me? Why do you hurt me? We're supposed to be friends. Okay, I want you both to promise me that when we get off this interview, you will check out Star Trek Continues.
Okay, for sure.
I want you to watch at least one episode, but hopefully watch the whole series.
I will watch the whole thing. I just sent myself a text, so I've got it.
I will tell you something. Every episode gets better than the last. As with most things, you know, when you're starting out, you're kind of getting your bearings and getting a feel for how to do this. But our episodes just got better and better and better. And I'm very, very proud of what we've done. And I hope you'll check it out.
Definitely. I have it marked down. Works Hard says I like most / all reboots along with the original.
Yes. In fact, a lot of our episodes are actually, several of our episodes are actually sequels to original series episodes.
Huh.
So if you remember like a certain episode, like when they went to the mirror universe, and Spock had the goatee and they advanced in rank by killing the guy in front of them.
Yep.
That was arguably one of the most popular original series episodes. And our third episode is a sequel to that episode, and it picks up right where the original episode ends.
Hi.
And our series actually picks up where the original series was canceled abruptly, and then it finishes the 5-year mission of the Enterprise.
That's cool.
And turns the Enterprise to Earth and leaves everybody right where they were when Star Trek the Motion Picture comes out.
Very cool. Hardy Girl says fairest of them all.
Yes.
So who are some of the cast? Because I know Chuck Huber was in it. So who else has been, who were the cast members of it, the main cast?
Well, another very well-known voice actor and wonderful actor, Todd Haberkorn, plays Mr. Spock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you are big enough fans of the original series to know the actor who played Chris Doohan, or excuse me, who played Scotty,
Mm-hmm.
but his name was James Doohan,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Doohan. His son Chris played.
No way.
Wow.
That's cool.
He was made for it. And then as you watch the series, you're going to see lots of familiar faces from classic television shows.
Really?
Star Galactica, Doctor Who, Star
Oh,
Trek Next Generation,
okay,
Star
cool.
Wars, Buffy, The Expanse, Buck Rogers, The Incredible.
Wow.
We've
Wow.
had all kinds of great guest stars in our episodes. Oh, and if you ever watched Mythbusters,
Mm-hmm.
Grant Imahara from
Oh,
Mythbusters plays Sulu.
cool.
Oh,
And for those who don't know, Chuck Huber plays the doctor.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And Chuck Huber is Dr. McCoy.
Very cool. So we'll definitely take a look at that and make sure to check it out. It's at StarTrekContinues.com.
Yes. And
Awesome.
it's all free to watch. Like I said, this was not made for money. It was not made for fame. It was made to say thank you to this little show that inspired tens of millions of people.
And tons and tons and tons of sequels and
so,
within the hearts of geeks everywhere, which I own the fact that I am one.
You are in good company, my dear.
Thank you,
You're in
sir.
good company. And not only are all the episodes there, but when you scroll down, there are dozens and dozens of behind the scenes videos, making of the episodes, blooper reels, all kinds of wonderful videos about the creation of our series.
that's awesome.
Call Me Jazz says, "Hey guys, awesome guest, love Star Trek."
Oh, thank you. Thank
So
you, sir.
do we want to shift to anime? Because
Yes,
John
please.
says, "What got you into anime?"
Well, my anime career started about 25 years ago. I was living in Houston, Texas, and I was encouraged to audition for this tiny little company here in Houston that bought the license to Japanese anime and dubbed them into English. And somebody told me they were looking for actors, and so I went and auditioned, and I got cast as Vega in Street Fighter 2.
Nice.
And thought that was a fun thing, but I figured it was kind of a one-time thing.
Mhm.
And a few weeks later, they called me back and said, "Hey, we've got another show called Neon Genesis Evangelion. You want to come and play a role in that?" So I did. And then it just another show and another show and another show. And then I started meeting people from other studios, some in Dallas, some in New York, some in Los Angeles. And now fast forward 25 years and I've, done 400 different characters in different shows.
That's a lot.
You've done
Really quick question regarding on the Star Trek Continues. Works Hard wants to know, didn't Grant from Mythbusters passed away this year?
Yes, he did. It was last year, actually. And it was such an unexpected, tragic loss. Grant was 47 years old,
Oh, wow.
and he had a brain aneurysm
Oh my goodness.
Shame.
and passed very quickly. He was one of the kindest, best people I've ever known. And every year we celebrate his birthday. We loved him very, very much.
That's so cool. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with as many, I'm sorry, that is, I don't mean to like step out of that so quickly. That's like so sad. I'm sorry to hear that. But shift back to the voice acting. As far as like how many characters you've done, do you have any favorites?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would definitely say a show that I did called Full Metal Alchemist
Yeah.
was
I
probably
that one.
my favorite thing I've ever done. Also, Oron High School Host Club was a show that I really loved. Dragon Ball, Broly, um, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. You know what? As soon as I start naming one,
There's a lot of favorites in there.
I can't stop because I love so many of them.
Like another thing is that.
I've been so enormously grateful to God for the opportunity to do what I do. I never imagined that anything would come of it. It wasn't anything I set out to do. A door opened and I haphazardly walked through, having no idea what was on the other side. So I always make it a point to give glory to God and give thanks to God for the opportunities that have arisen in my life, because I take no credit for them.
Awesome. John points out that next year marks the 20th anniversary of Full Metal Alchemist English dub.
20 years. Wow. Really?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It seems like yesterday.
Gosh. So, okay, I don't know if you remember my favorite. My favorite that you've done is Vampire Night, though.
Oh, yes.
Because that was my gateway.
Zero and Ichiru.
Yes. So this was such an awesome role because he did Zero, which was like one of the main characters from it. But then you end up finding out, spoiler alert, later on, he has an identical twin that he thought had died. And like you didn't even know he was alive. And so he's doing.
I didn't even know.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe if you heard that story that I told one time, but the studio called me and said, you're going to be playing Zero and Ichiru. And I said, woohoo, Zero. Who's Ichiru? Because I didn't even know. So it was really fun to play these two twin brothers. You know, it was so interesting. And you would record one of them first all the way through. And then you would take a break and then kind of get in the mindset for the different character. But it was really fun, like playing off of yourself, you know? And
kind of a
like,
good cop, bad cop.
yeah, hearing your pre-recorded voice and then answering it, but with a different personality, you know?
That almost make you feel schizophrenic.
Wait,
yes. Very.
It'd be a little awkward too.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I'm not on. I'll admit it and I'll own it. I'm not an anime fan, but I'm starting to hear a lot of these, and I'm able to connect them with the voice actors, and it's kind of cool to know that you were in a lot of the ones of other voice actors that I've actually already met as well. So that's pretty cool.
TJ, let me tell you that in every list, every top 10 list I've ever seen of the top 10 anime of all time, Full Metal Alchemist is on it. And I regularly hear from fans, Full Metal is the anime for people that don't watch anime.
Okay.
I'm told that Full Metal is a gateway drug. and the dub is generally considered one of the best dubs ever. And I'm not saying that because I'm in it. I'm saying it because of what everybody brought to it. So if you have to start with one, I would encourage you to check out that one.
I think there should be a warning label, though. Do not get attached to this little girl and the dog because something really, really terrible happens to them. Okay.
I know what happened. I saw John Grimmy. I was there
here. Chuck Huber was on here the other day, and it was just like, okay, wait. So I've got to say, you're a sicko. Okay.
Yes. You're an evil man, Tucker. How could you do that to your dog and your daughter?
That's kind of jacked up.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, I just pulled up to the airport, and I've got to hop out of my car. But I would love to do this again.
Definitely. Before we go, Trevor says happy early birthday for the 27th.
Oh, thank you, Trevor. Yeah, let's not talk about the number.
Well, you've been a treat. We will have to reschedule again for another time. We appreciate you. I know that we appreciate the fact that you're being flexible and allowing us to join in on your car ride. So
absolutely. And you know what? Next time I'll be sitting in a studio and it'll be quiet and we'll take as much time as possible. Okay.
Well, have a safe flight, sir, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you and all that you do. For those who want to learn more about Vic, go to www.vicsworld.net. That's www.vicsworld.net to find out more about him. In the meantime, Vic, have a safe flight.
Thank you, and check out StarTrekContinues.com.
Definite.
And the Neutral Zone Studios for information about visiting our studio, okay?
Okay, Mommy, take us out.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so much for
Bless
joining us.
you.
Love you
Talk
guys.
soon.
Until
Bye-bye.
next time, mischief
You too.
managed. Bye.
Bye.